Hello and welcome everybody, my name is David Lees, and in this video I'll be reviewing Transformers issue 20, previously known as A Bold New Era, but now Rise of the Decepticons, a far more suitable title. I think the Bold New Era for me was slow, lengthy and very drawn out. Rise of the Decepticons, much more impressive, much higher paced, far higher energy, a lot more interesting incidents going on. Much more to see. So let's do a quick recap. I appreciate it's been a few weeks for those who follow this channel live. I apologise for the lack of videos recently. Things have been a bit busy during lockdown. But we'll have a quick recap. Prowl apparently investigating the death of Brainstorm. Anyone remember him? And also the death of Rubble with his sort of parrot type dinosaur thing called Green. The collapse of the tether and the moon that just drifted off into orbit, the energy orbital moon thing, and then security coming in, more of the Decepticons going into hiding. Barricade in particular, who'd been leaking information, is now Decepticon HQ, projected by Soundwave, and then Megatron and Shockwave having their own internal wranglings. I will say up front, you won't see anything of Megatron in this issue, you won't see anything of Orion Pax, but there's still plenty going on as a result of Megatron's actions in particular. He really is still driving the plot here massively, and we'll see the repercussions of his actions, especially in contrast with Shockwave. Key people, the dramatis personae, just a quick reminder, Sideswipe, we'll see a lot of him, Bumper, who is just Bumblebee in another form, Prowl, Nightbeat, Hound, we'll see, and actually in a useful role, and Strongarm. But we'll kick off here. Let me just. There we go. We'll kick off with this news reporter. Here we go. Known as Andromeda. She's a typical cynical American-style journalist, investigative reporter, whatever you want to call that kind of person. Stay tuned, viewers, you won't believe what's happened next. Cybertron's most wanted officially named for the first time. Shockwave, Six Shot, Frenzy, Quick, Barricade, Skystalker. They're the worst, Autobots say. So a quick name check of all the G1 Decepticons that we've all come to know and love. And they're no longer Decepticons, they are Decepticons. So the Autobots are calling them deceitful and deceptions, if you like. Prowl's watching it, calling them idiots, which is just typical Prowl. Meeting up, as we see here, with Nightbeat, and they're saying, right, it's time to go and investigate, it's time to go and actually do something about it. So, we think we're going to do something about it, yes, but of course Hound is somewhere in the middle of some dome with some alien life form that shares Cybertron, and when the tether from the moon fell, trashed the dome. Makes little of Hound. Hound was my favourite G1 character. The toy was a massive disappointment, but the character himself, I liked Hound. I liked what he stood for. Exploring and investigating. Here he just seems to be some sort of like diplomat. Really disappointing use of Hound, I have to say. But he does get to bring in, and I'm sure my tripod is slipping, Sideswipe. Now Sideswipe is exactly written here as he was in G1. Sir, Hound, sir, I thought it important. I heard you're putting together a combat group, and Sideswipe, being Sideswipe, wants to be part of it. He wants in on the action, rash, brash, absolutely in line with G1 Sideswipe. I'm just trying to be useful where I can. Meanwhile, Prowl and Bumper and Nightbeat go and see Singe, who is this random Decepticon extra, who has information. Prowl gets heavy and hard with him. Just watch Strongarm. He's hurting, but he knows the limits. Watch, just don't emulate, okay? I was promised you'd have something interesting to say, Singe, and oh, I really, really want what I was promised. Meanwhile, or later, Strongarm is saying that he always gets into trouble, always gets shot at, but he's very good at it. And so many, especially when there's so many opportunities to get shot at, it's one of his worries. Meanwhile, we do a quick recap and we see, as a reminder, Chromia, who's outside the Decepticon HQ. There's Flywheels, Runabout and Runamok. Sorry, Skytread, not Flywheels. Sorry. There's Orion, not Orion, sorry. There's the 1,000 outside the Senate who want, I'm not sure what they want, spark extinction as a penalty for risers maybe. So that's Sentinel Prime. Then there's the only Titan that we knew previously, who was in a coma basically. And there's Ryan Pax featuring very briefly. I apologise, yes he does actually feature. But it's just a quick recap of all the different things where everything's disintegrating and things are going wrong. And just to top it off, here comes Sideswipe. Sideswipe's here. Says Strong Arm, I'm definitely going to get shot at again. It's brilliant. They've got Sideswipe down to a T. Prowl, the meticulous investigator, bit of a pain in the neck. Sideswipe, always in for a good idea. Always in for a fight. So definitely the one to be looking out for. So they go to Swindles. Swindle, the G1 Combaticon, Bargainer, Hustler, Barterer, and pretty much compulsive gambler. Okay, players, skitters away, and they're basically gambling on skitter racing. All the usual kind of illicit borderline activities you'd expect from Swindle. He's exactly the same here as you've ever seen him. Doing sort of insider dealing, insider trading, a bit of black market stuff. Here comes Mindwipe, who is as written in G1. So they send in Bumper as a spy. They said, I think I see Vesper. He's on our target list, isn't he? Following someone around. 6-shot? Is it 6-shot? No, this one's a bit purple. A big black box, weird little things on his shoulders. It's possible he might have noticed me. He's coming. Do not get close to Mindwipe and do not look into his eyes. And so of course, tells somebody not to do something. Of course he does. Really, that sounds... Why do I feel like you've been paying too much attention to me? This is Mindwipe, who of course gets to stare straight into Bumper's eyes. There you go. With the message, kill Prowl. So Visper comes crashing in through the roof. Poor Sideswipe got stationed on the roof expecting nothing to happen. Here he comes. Visper flies in. Sideswipe's on the roof. Goes straight through. Prowl! Prowl! You there? I think something might... I think the comms might have gone... And Visper makes his entrance. The other Decepticons can't quite believe it. Swindle's looking at his roof, wondering whatever's going to happen next. Well, what happens next is, of course, that Sideswipe comes straight in through the roof, having brought his weapon along, gives Visper a good zap, disintegrates into proper, just a typical bar brawl, but, most importantly, the Autobots do get one slightly damaged riser, one riser, slightly damaged, ready for interrogation. Big win. Lots of action in this episode, as I mentioned. We wrap up with 6-shot, Frenzy and Quake still stuck in lockdown. Don't we know how they feel? And apparently we've got to find a new hole to hide you, so they're all going on a little trip. There is, as ever, the cover gallery, but I must say this is a good issue. All the action, there's possibly 2 transformations in the whole issue. We get past Hound pretty quickly, who doesn't actually play a major part. We see Sideswipe and Prowl take it on. Hound just gets in the way, to be quite honest. Real disappointment for him. But the others definitely well used, well employed in this particular issue. I've already reviewed Transformers 84, issue 1. 4 issues starting in April. That got put back, obviously. Secrets and Lies. So if you've not seen that, it's on my channel. Take a look. And we've stopped with the blurb about how good this series is. We've just got a Decepticon symbol instead. So Rise of the Decepticons, issue 20. Highly recommended. Lots of action. More of the larger plot unfolding. All good stuff. If you enjoyed this, please do let me know. Do like, comment and subscribe. All the YouTube stuff. I'll be back as soon as I can with more issues. Especially Secrets and Lies issue 2 when that comes out. Thank you very much for watching. Transform and roll out.